So you're looking to buy a house in Dallas-Fort Worth in 2021, but you don't know where to start? In this video, I'm going to go ahead and break it down for you from the very beginning stages of starting to look for your house until when you get your keys. All that's involved and everything you need to know. What's up, guys? My name is Corey Chambers. I'm a local real estate expert out here with Chambers Home Group in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. And in this video, like I mentioned, we're going to go ahead and break down the entire process of what it looks like to buy a home in DFW in 2021. First step is to go ahead and find a realtor to work with. Now, I would love it if you guys would choose to work with us, obviously. That's why I'm recording this video. However, there are a lot of other realtors in the Metroplex, and I would recommend working with somebody who's reputable, who has good reviews, and who's going to make sure that you and your family are taken care of. I believe our team does that for all of our clients, and if you're curious about it, we would love to help you out. Step number 2 is to reach out to a loan officer or a mortgage company. Now, this is a very crucial second step. And I actually recommend this before we really get into the home search aspect and even setting up your custom search. And there's a couple reasons behind that. In 2021, there's not a lot of inventory available. And because there's not a lot of inventory available, you have to be able to move really quickly if it's a house that you like. And part of the process and the contracts that go out is we have to provide what's called a pre-approval letter, which means that the bank has or the lender has went ahead and looked at all your documentation and they say, yes, you qualify for this loan, or a pre-approval letter. Now, the pre-approval letter takes a couple weeks longer to get, and it means that you've already been completely underwritten, and then just the property needs to be underwritten. That's preferred, if possible, to get before we go ahead and put an offer out on property. It's going to strengthen your offer. But the main point of this is you want to know what price you can look at. I've seen it happen time and time again to where if you think that you can buy a $500,000 house, you fall in love with a house that's $490,000, you go ahead, you want to put an offer in it, so you get start the pre-approval process, and you find out that you only qualify for $450,000. And that's really, it's heartbreaking, because you have your heart set, your expectations set at that higher price point, and then nothing else is going to compare to that house. So we recommend that you only are looking at homes that you can qualify to buy. That way you're not setting incorrect expectations. Now, on the flip side, I've also seen it where somebody says, oh, well, I think I can only do $350,000. And they start talking with the lender, and the lender says they're really qualified for $400,000, $425,000. And that jump up in price is going to also provide either some extra bedrooms, some extra amenities, or just overall nicer features. So please, before we get too deep in the process of buying your home, make sure you get pre-approved. Once you get the pre-qualification or the pre-approval letter, then we can go ahead and start looking at houses. We go ahead and set you up on custom home search after sitting down, talking with you, and reviewing a couple other points that I'm not going to be mentioning in this video because I'm not going to give away all the secret sauce on how to get an offer accepted in this market, because that's a different topic. But we set up a search for you, and then you just let us know what houses you like to see. And then we're going to let you know, okay, well, these 8 homes, we're going to start here. I do all the scheduling, and we get it all put together. And you just follow along. We have a nice little packet for you each time we go out. Once we find a house that you and your family fall in love with, and you want to go ahead and put an offer on that, my team is drafting all the paperwork. And we have multiple people checking out all the paperwork, from the residential contract to the third-party financing addendum. If there's an HOA in the document, HOA in the community, then there's an extra addendum for that. If you wanted to buy the fridge or the appliances, then there's an addendum for that. There's an addendum for seller leasebacks, which are pretty common. There's a bunch of different documentation. We go ahead and compile all of that, and we send it over to you for electronic signature. Once we get that back, we go ahead and submit it over to the listing agent, and the listing agent, along with a couple other pieces of information, which we can get to at a later point if you're curious about that, or just in general, if you guys are curious about the process and there's a certain point that you want to know more information about, please reach out to me. Me and my team, we're always here and available to help you out. Whatever is easiest for you, whether it's call, text, email, look me up on social, we're here. But Once we get your offer accepted, it goes into what's called the escrow process. The escrow process is 30 days long typically. It involves quite a few different things. First thing that it involves is your home inspection process. That's where we have a qualified home inspector go out and they're going to basically tear apart the house. They're going to test every single outlets. They're going to run all the water. They're going to climb up on the roof and check the roof out, check your HVAC, your water heater, all the major things to make sure that you're not going to move in and potentially have a $10,000 to $20,000 repair, $2,000 repair, or that you know about that and know moving forward that that's what you can expect. They're also going to point out any code differences as well. If you're moving a little bit further south in like the heart of Dallas, Richardson, Garland, those homes were built primarily in the 60s and 70s, and 60s and 70s home building code is a lot different than what it is in 2020, 2021. And they're going to show you all the differences in the code on that as well. Just because there's a code difference, by the way, does not mean that the house is bad by any means. It just means that the code is updated. Once the inspector goes ahead and takes a look at everything, you're going to get a report, and then you have the opportunity to ask for some of the major things to be corrected. We enter in another phase of negotiations at that point as well to what the seller is going to go ahead and fix or what they're not going to fix in the state of the house moving forward. Once that's complete, then it goes into more of the back end work with the paperwork between the lender and the title company, and just making sure that all the forms are corrected, the appraisal is done, the appraisal meets value, and the back end paperwork is completed. That typically takes from day 7 to day 31. At the end of that period, you go ahead and get your keys and you get to move in. So it's not a super complicated process, but there is a lot that goes into it behind the scenes. If you have any more questions about what it's like to go ahead and purchase a house, what all goes into it, strategies about winning multiple offer situations, anything along the like, please go ahead and reach out to me again. Call, text, email, look me up on social, whatever works best for you. My team's here for you. If you're curious about any of the different communities in the area, subdivisions, we do a lot of subdivision and community tours, and there's going to be some links to those down below about what it's like in each of these communities, what the communities feature and focus in on, and what the surrounding area is like. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you next video.